Hello. Good afternoon, and how is it going, guys? Welcome back to another webinar. In this webinar, I'm just kind of doing the same thing. First of all, I will just give you a psychological. First of all, I will give you some SMC course, and then I will go towards the analysis. Okay. So before moving towards fresh new analysis, let me clear you that whenever you are trading the smart money, you have to first of all identify your structure, right? But there are two methods to mark the protected low and protected high depending on the type of trend. Now, the first method to mark the low or high is to count the swings. Basically, this is a most common type to mark the protected low and protected high. This is kind of swings. Whenever you got some sort of this method, model, you will go for some mark it some as a low or high like this. Let it let me do like this. So in this type of method, you have to only mark these swings. Means whenever you got this type of swings, you will just kind of mark the low or high. Okay, so in this type, you do not need any kind of candle body closing or blah blah blah. So this is first type. Most of the ICD traders and the smart money. So most of smart money also use this type of model, fine, and most of the ICT use this. Okay, so but if you want to mark the real low and real high, there is another model that's really important. You have to identify this. Okay, so the model I just already discussed with you guys in my some recent videos. You can check out that guy also, but let me clear you guys are here that whenever you got some sorts of this price action or model, you can call it, you have to mark the protect low. Now this type of low or high is really important because most of the smart money, the real institution ones, use this type of low. So whenever you got this type of low like this, whenever you got a body candle closing below this low, so you have to mark a low whenever you got a break of structure now like this. Okay, so whenever you are trading the real smart money trading, you have to mark this type of lows and highs. Okay, so now let me tell you that one more where you have to use this guy and where you have to use this one. Now there are two types of structure. The one is called real structure and the second one is called the intermediate structure, or you can call it intermediate structure. Okay, so whenever you're marking the real structure, you have to mark the low or high by identifying this type of model. But whenever you are trading the intermediate structure, that's also fine, you can trade it, but depending on type of structure. Okay, so if the structure is bullish, you can trade intermediate structures by marking the low or high this method. Okay, so I just cleared you guys that where you have to mark this type of model and when you have to mark this type of model. Now most of our traders will say you guys that there's no need to trade the intermediate structure. No. So you can trade the intermediate structures, but it will be a little bit risky. Why? Because you are trading the intermediate structures, this called a fake structure also. If you're trading this type of structure, most of the time if you are not in the correct side of market, so you can be kicked out of market again and again. That's fine, but you can trade it. Okay, so if the structure, let's suppose overall structure is still bullish or a real structure is from here to here, now the intermediate structure is presenting itself, you can trade it. Okay, so if the structure is long, go for long in intermediate structure, you can trade it. But if you are not profitable by using the real structures, so don't use till now. Why? Because it's a kind of risky one. Okay, so this was a kind of sauce that I discussed with you guys. Now let me go towards the analysis. Starting from the Bitcoin, I just cleared you guys that we have to identify some longs. Why? Because the structure is still bullish. If you are in longs, if you just followed me from here, good to go for you. And I just clearly told you guys that if you are in longs, perfect, let it run and break even your trades. So the price is just perfectly enjoyed and move in our direction. Now the recent case is kind of good, and same thing I just discussed with you guys that if I have a one side bias, I will go for long, and then if the price is again from here, I will go for long again. Okay, so if we are marking the intermediate structures, why? Because the overall structure is still in a bearish price action from here to here. And higher time frame, I just discussed in webinar 1 with you guys that why I am bullish from here, because I am not again going from top to down. That's why, because it's kind of wastage of time and most of people will not stay over here because we have to go for again a big thing now. So I'm just kind of using the intermediate structures. Why? Because let me clear you that why I am using intermediate structure, because the 2-day time frame is still in a bullish market and now price is playing in a demand zone. So what it means, it means that if institutions want to go in up direction, they have to give us some footprints, and as smart money traders are nothing more except a footprint traders, so we can identify their footprints in the form of SSC, structure, SND, and confirmation. You got it now? So same thing, why I'm bullish, you got an idea why I'm bullish on here, because the structure is bullish from here to here, and now price is playing in demand zone from here to here. Okay, so what it means that institutions can accumulate their price action over here and then can move towards the direction where we can clearly see that the lows are clearing out, and now price is moving in a bullish trend, okay, as an intermediary. So if we discuss as an intermediate structure, 2-day time frame is also bullish from here. Yeah, you can mark it from here like this. Okay, we are just clearing out this one, so we are going for the clearance of this one. Why? Because we are just identifying the intermediate structure, and intermediate target is still lying over here. Nice. So let's shift downside now. Okay. 1 hour, the structure is still in a bearish price action from here and from this to this low. Okay, so it did not make any sense that you can wait for a price to break this guy. So if you are not still profitable with trading the intermediate structure, then don't go with it. But if you are profitable with going it, then go with it. Okay, so I'm just using the intermediate structures. By marking, we can clearly see that price has just shifted bullish from here. Again, I just told you guys that you can go for long from here, absorbed us, and again moved in a direction. Those who are in the trade, perfect, still break your trades and let the rest run. Okay, so now we can clearly see that again we break the structure from here, and our recent low is this one. So we can clearly see that the first model and second model both respects over here. So this low is kind of more strong one. Okay, so you can mark your low from here, and the high is still resting over here. So remember that we are just kind of going for the absorption of this high. Okay, so we need a spike up towards this gun, but it does not make any sense that we have to long from here. No. Why? Because if we want to long from here, we have to protect our low, or yeah, we have to protect our low, so our RR will be disturbed. So we does not want to get a lower RR by high risking. Okay, so it's kind of gambling one. Why? Because you are just marking a stop below this guy and you are taking a trade of this one. So 0.8 R did not make any sense for a smart trader to take a 0.8 R. Okay, so that's why what you have to do, we are in a very bullish market. We can clearly see that we are in a boss. If you want to mark our demand zone, we can clearly mark a demand zone here like this, or if you want to mark our DB 2.0, we can clearly mark this one. Okay, so we have two zones for longs now. Okay, so if you want to trade the Bitcoin, you can long from here, zone number 1, at the point of kind of, we can refine it a bit, because yeah, like this, because 50% will be like over here. Perfect. Okay, so we can refine it like this, and we can take a trade of this one from here. So the price action specs at 26,500 round above, and you can take another trade by here, 26,400. Both are fine. Okay, so you can take a trade from here or here, both are fine. So if you are taking a trade over here where you have to put your stop loss, you have to put your stop loss just below this guy. So must make sure that's left something for absorption. Why? Because most of the time price just spikes down and again move the direction. So you have to mark this, identify this by, okay, by trading the intermediate structures or intermediate structure, both are fine. So if you want to mark our stop loss, we can mark our stop loss just below this guy. Okay, 26,000. Yeah, little bit leave it for absorption. 26,300. You can mark your stop loss at the 26,300 by taking a trade of 26,500 or 26,400. Both are fine. So yeah, this trade makes sense like this. Okay, so you can take an R of according to it. That depends upon your personality. Means if you want to take 2R, go with it. If you want to take 3R, go with it. But the target is like this, 5R target. Now it's your choice. You are closing over here, you're closing over here, you're closing over here, but you can hold till now, till that guy. Okay, so yeah, if I'm just giving one side direction, I'm long on Bitcoin, but I'm long on Bitcoin overall. But if I want to take a trade on long, I will take a trade on here, to target this guy. Why? Because this high is really important to absorb. Why? Because 2 day time frame is still bullish and price is just playing in its demand zone, and intermediate structure we are bullish, and we're just going to the target of this guy. So this break of this high is have a lot of probability to toward the direction. Okay, so yeah, this direction makes a lot of sense. So as we are just giving all time one side about direction, if the market is clean, the market is clean, longs make sense. But if I want to take a trade, I will take a trade from here by marking my stop loss at the 26,300. Okay, and the target is on 27,300. You can mark overall target like this, and you can take some partials on, yeah, you can take some partials over here. Okay, so 26,800, the partial zone makes sense, and overall target is 27,300. Long makes sense. If you are in any long, good to go for you guys. Break even your trades if you are in profits, and let the rest run. Okay, so this was Bitcoin. Now let's go towards another market. That's, yeah, we are already discussed MTL with you guys. Let me clear you how it got. MTL, yeah, same thing. I just said you guys that if any long short again makes sense from here, you can go for this, and we are just running till now. Okay, so yeah, still it's in a bearish trend, so I will not go with it. Bearish shorts still make sense. If you want to know the analysis and the reason why, so you can check out the webinar number 1 I just dropped 2 days below. Okay, 2 days before. Now let me mark another market that's called TRB, because TRB has a lot of demand. TRB, perfect. Mm. Yeah, so still we are in an intermediate structure. We are stuck in it. So we are in an intermediate structure. No, I'm not trading the intermediate structure now. Why? Because that depends upon my personality, because I'm not trading over here. There are some reasons why I'm not trading with this. Okay, so there's some a lot of logic why I'm not trading over here, so you guys may not understand right now, because have some a lot of reasons. So hands down, say same thing, TRB is still revolving in an intermediate structure. So if I want to short, no, I will not short, obviously. Why? Because I will long the price from here. So let the price run, came down over here again, same thing. Recent, I just discussed with you guys recently in the live webinar number 2, that I will still be in a bullish market if the price reach over here. So let the price came over here, and then we'll move towards there again, another rally will come. Okay, so yeah, TRB is still 43.1 long, makes sense by making your stop loss 40.1, and you can mark your TP. You can take a partial number 1 and 2, that makes sense, 48.9, and another you can take a 65. Both are fine. So I can't say anything regarding to RR, because the RR depends upon your own personality, depends upon you, that how much you are psychologically strong, that depends upon you. Okay, so one side direction I am still in a long by this direction. Okay, so if you are in a short on TRB, I will not go for shorts. I will wait for price to reach over here for long. Okay, so yeah, this was TRB, and let me go towards the WLD. How WLD, right? Yeah, same thing. I will just still go for long. So price just spike down like this by 5% after the update. So I will still go for long over here. Same thing at the 1.72 by making my stop loss 1.655, and my TP will be 1.88. Okay, so yeah, this was WLD. So most of the coins are presenting itself in a long. TRB is long, WLD is long, Bitcoin is long, and MTL is still in a short direction. You can trigger the shorts also. Okay, so there was some minor, there was some major. So let's take some advantage on the ZOBTC. Yeah, ZOBTC all, yes, perfect. Yeah, I just earlier discussed with you guys that the chart is still like this. I just discussed with you, still the structure is bearish, db1, db2, and yeah, structure is overall bearish. I'm just expecting more dump. Okay, so we can clearly see that we are just printing a lot of liquidity, but I'm not trading the liquidity zones, because the most of our retail will have a bias that there is some sorts of pennant or flag or pennant. This a flag or pennant, you can call it each and anything, but I do not go with this guy. So structure is overall bearish db1 and db2. I will just keep going it. Okay, so if the ZOA is bearish, the Bitcoin will be alternately bullish. So it makes any sense that if price reach over here, the Bitcoin will reach towards the demand zone. So, okay, so yeah, same thing, the ZOA will makes my analysis more strong. ZOA is bearish, Bitcoin will be alternately bullish. Why? Because they are just correlated and inverted markets. One move downs, another spikes up. Okay, so same thing on it. So let me clear you another market that's called MTL, because I just, yeah, me MTL is just done. Okay, yeah, that was it. So MKR has also some demand. Okay, so I would just also wanna go for longs, but price just moved down without giving me any sort of confirmation. That's fine. So let's top it down for you guys, because I haven't top down for you guys in any webinar. Okay, so MKR looks strong because we are in a two, I think so we are in a 2 week bullish demand zone. We can clearly see that we are in a demand zone. Why? Because this is a break of structure from here. If we want to mark a demand zone, we can mark a demand zone here, a better perfect place to long from here. But that's fine, we were absent at that time. That's good. And now we are just moving in a direction that's called a bullish bias. db1 db2 db1 db2, you can clearly see this. Okay, so yeah, same thing, long makes sense or WLD, but from where? If lower time frame is giving some color to a high time frame or not. Okay, because high time frame and lower time frame, we have to collide it. Yeah, okay, db1 db2, we can clearly see that we got 2 dbs in 3 time frame. So if you want to mark the low, if I will mark a low, I will mark this guy as a recent low. Why? Because I use my candle liquidation rule by making for making the lows or high the real one. Okay, so yeah, this low makes sense. So the high is still this one, so we will target this guy like this. But we haven't know that the price will clear out from here, from here, or it will clear low. No, we will not know. So if we want to take along from here, this is not nothing as a gambling. So that's why I will recommend that if lower time frame is presenting itself some longs, I will go with it. But if lower time frame does not present any long, I will not go with it. Okay, so MKR is bullish overall. Let's move down. 1 day time frame, count the dbs if we are overextended or not. db1 db2 db3 db4 or db5. Okay, it's kind of 5 dbs we got, but the last one is a cluster. It means that we have still an ability go for bullishness from here. Fine, so 1 day low, this is a clear low for 1 day. And if we want to mark our demand zone, we can clearly mark a demand zone, this one or this one, both make sense. But this guy has a lot of liquidity or a lot of volume on this candle, we can go for this. Okay, so we can mark this low, this demand zone as a valid one. Both are fine, this is also fine and this is also fine. So a clear demand zone lies over here, but if you want to refine it, you can mark it like this, advanced demand zone. Perfect. So still 1 day time frame at 5 dbs, but the last one is a cluster, so we also need an explosion again. So yeah, still I am long on WLD MKR on overall, but I don't know from where I have to long. So for that I have to shift down 12 hour. Okay, db1 db2, still I'm in a 2 dbs. This long makes a lot of sense from here, but price may spike down over here, may not spike down over here, so I have to go more down. So I should got an idea that it's time to long or it's time to be stay out of the market. So if you go for it like this, it makes sense like this. Yeah, like this also fine. So shift down 1 hour, 4 hour time frame. 4 hour time frame is still kind of in a bullish market. We can clearly see that we have shift 1, shift 2, shift 3, shift 4, 4 dbs. Last one is a cluster. Perfect. So all the time frame is kind of overextended, but it's presenting itself like a cluster. So I can't say that it's a bullish or it's a ready to bearish. Okay, so 1 hour will decide itself that it's a bullish or bearish market. So we got a break of structure from here, break of structure of this one. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5. Nope, no longer makes sense from here. There is kinda no man's market now. Why? Because I'm not expecting any short for now, but there's no clear zone to long. So what it means, it means that most of our dumb money will kind of long from here, most of our kind of long from here. So yeah, the demand zones for the dumb monies are without countless. We clearly see that the demand zone on the for the dumb money is countless. So ready for them to go for short, short, short. So yeah, WMKR overall bullish, but I have no zones for now for long. So it's kinda those who are just longing long. So be careful with the longs. But those who are shorting, be careful. This market is kinda negligible. Forget it and move to another market. Okay. So yeah, there's millions of other coins you can trade. This market kinda makes no sense for you guys. Yeah, leave it out until the prices haven't shifted bullish. Okay, so overall we are shift bearish, very bearish. Until the structure is bearish, leave it up. I will analyze for you guys again in tomorrow's webinar. Okay, so this was MKR and MTL, same thing, bearish, bearish makes sense. And Bitcoin, let me again rememorize you. Long makes sense from here. If you are any long, good to go for you guys. Again, TRB, longs make sense, and that's it. Okay, so WLD, let me clear you what's going about WLD. Also, you can clearly see that we have one side bias on WLD. If prices you're here, you can go for longs. So Bitcoin is overall long, intermediary we are in a long bias. So if you are in a long, good for you guys, but if you are in a short, then kinda be careful. Okay, so I will long the Bitcoin from 26,000, I think so, 26,300 or 400. Yeah, 26,500 I will long by making a stop on 26,300. Okay, so yeah, long makes sense for WBTC. And that was it. Hope you enjoyed today's analysis and today's educational course. Okay, so if you enjoyed it, just go in your charts and replicate the same thing, how I analyze the markets and blah blah blah. Okay, so yeah, that was today's update. Bye.